This is the Blue Collar Future podcast where we talk about the future of trade work. All right, guys, it's been a while since I've recorded a solo episode. I think about 2 months because I've had so many interviews and our collaboration series with the Utah Hustlers and the Real You podcast has been releasing over the last couple months. Um, a lot's happened, a lot's been going on. So I thought we would jump into some life updates that I've been having on, and also what I've learned over the last couple months and over the last really year of being on social media. So, if you are interested to learn about how to grow your Instagram social following for your business, this is going to be an episode for you because I've been actively growing our concrete Instagram and social following and had a ton of success with it. It's been really interesting to see the growth and some of the things I've changed. I've been posting for a really long time, really haven't seen that much success with it, but I also haven't been putting that much work into it. Just been throwing stuff out there, getting used to posting and all of that. So to start this off, my wife and I are having a baby this year, and we are building a house. It's going to provide some challenges with everything I'm doing with managing my time between the podcast, managing the social for the concrete, working full time, working on our business, building the house. When the baby's here, it's going to be a lot of work. And right now, I'm going to be in a very big preparation stage to set us up for success when this happens. So these solo episodes, I'm thinking I'm going to be updating on construction progress as well as some challenges that I've had and what I'm doing to prepare to have a baby. And it's really interesting. I didn't expect to be this busy this early on when having a child. So a lot of people have been telling me that they're excited to see how this goes for me because, I'm always talking about working out and doing all this stuff and it is a lot of work and it changes things, but I don't think it's going to change everything so much that it's going to be unbearable. I think what happens is people get burnt out and they aren't excited by what they do and they don't have a real purpose or motivation for anything else that they do. So by the time a kid is there and they have a job, it really is draining and takes a lot of energy out. So I'm going to be updating on everything that I'm doing and the progress that we're having and really some of the challenges that we're facing and overcoming and some of the common um, misconceptions about having kids that people talk about. And really having a baby, I think, is a little bit easier than having older kids that have a lot going on themselves that you have to be involved with. But nonetheless, I always hear people say things change when you have kids. Just wait till you have kids, blah, 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 blah. But the thing about that is I've heard people say the same things about everything else. Wait until you have a job, wait until you get done with your school, or wait until you start college or school, wait until you get to be my age, wait until you get married. There's all of these things that people want to put on you to prevent you or to kind of set you up for failure because in some way or another, they themselves haven't been able to do everything that they've wanted to because of these things. So they're like, yeah, it's not possible. So we're going to discuss that over this podcast. We're going to be talking about challenges of working in construction and having kids, challenges with building your own house, doing all this stuff, how I'm managing that, how I'm managing still posting on social media, still creating content, still doing this podcast, all the while having all this going on. We also just barely launched some website templates for contractors, really for anybody that wants to have a basically pre-built website that they can drag and drop stuff put their own branding, their own pictures in. Looks great, super easy to use. And we did this because there's a lot of people that come to us wanting a website, but maybe they don't have the budget. And I say, if you don't have the budget to do a nice website, you shouldn't get one. Well, this way you can get a website, you can do it yourself, and you can save some money. So we'll be talking about that a little bit later too, and why posting on social media and having a website is a very good combination. Because a lot of people only do one or only do the other, and it's just not the case. You got to have everything set up so that it all kind of works together. So this episode, we're going to be talking about social media and websites and technology and what I've been doing the last couple months. So to get started, I've been posting on social media for 2 or 3 years now, really with not a whole lot of success, but also not really trying to create content to get a ton of followers. And my personal page is kind of all over the place. I post about really just anything. And I've been trying all these different challenges to kind of see what I like, putting videos of myself talking in front of the camera up there, I did a POV challenge where you just take a picture and write up a description, and you do that every single day. And I think I made it almost to 300 days and done a couple different things with my social media just to see what I like. I think on my personal page, I've posted almost 600 times. And on our company page, our concrete page, I have posted a total of 133 times. And I've been posting on our social media for a little over a year. And like I said, without really a ton of success, we haven't had the success that you would hope for. And what I've noticed with people is they don't see immediate success with their social media, and they don't keep posting because of that. What happens is they don't ever get to find the style of content that they like to create. They don't ever find the way that they can put stuff out there and be themselves. They don't ever find out how to put in the right amount of effort into creating the content or editing or producing it and posting it. And it's either they don't try enough or they try too hard. It is overproduced, when you watch an Instagram video and they have all of these effects and they have all of this this really loud music in the background and all of this stuff going on, and they don't ever really do very well. People either try too hard or don't try hard enough. And when they don't see success within a couple months, they quit. With that being said, with over 600 posts, hadn't even broken 20,000 views on a video. I think I had on TikTok, I got one that was 40,000, but it was a fluke, really, in my opinion. And it was for some reasons people were starting to engage in the comments and got people hooked in and reading the comments and pushed it a little bit farther than the rest of them had gone. But I hadn't gotten over 20,000 once, not even one time. And for me, it wasn't really that big of a deal. I didn't really care that much, but I was really just posting things just to post them and get used to it, because at the end of the day, people get discouraged. They read comments and get discouraged and just decide to give up and quit because it's not working. They decide it's not for them, whatever. Posting on social media is not my thing. It is not my comfort zone. It is not something I'm inherently good at. And I don't think people understand that after seeing what I'm doing here. Even doing this podcast is not something that is in my comfort zone, and it's not me. I'm sure that there's people that I went to school with, went to high school with, that are seeing that I'm doing the podcast and posting all these things, and they're like, I never would have expected that from Jaden, because I've always been kind of a quiet person, kept myself. I didn't even have Instagram until I think 2017 or 2018, because I refused to get it. I refused to get Snapchat for a long time. I never got TikTok until just barely. I had a Facebook, but I never really posted on it either. I'm not a content creator, an influencer, any of that. So doing all of this stuff for me, I have just been posting, just been getting stuff out there, getting used to it, getting used to being in front of camera, getting used to just throwing together a post and putting it out there and not worrying too much about the producing of it. And all of that being said, a couple months ago, I bought some Ray-Ban smart glasses. They have cameras on them and they use voice commands, or they have a button. You can take videos, you can talk on the phone with them, you can listen to music, all that stuff. I found those online and I had been looking for a way to take videos while using both of my hands to still be able to work, to get a really good POV shot. And I was against getting a GoPro mounted to my freaking hat or a chest mount or anything like that because I didn't want to walk around with a camera strapped to me. So I had been taking my phone out to take videos and pictures and stuff all day, every day for a couple years already. And I had been trying to figure out how I could take better videos with without, having this big camera stuck to my head and looking like a goofball. And props to people that do that, because I've seen quite a few people that do that, and that just wasn't something that I even wanted to try. I was avoiding that at all costs, and I've been trying to figure out how to create content in an easy way. I found these glasses and I talked to a couple of people about them, and they were $350. And a few people were like, oh man, that's kind of expensive. And I'm sitting here thinking about it. And immediately when I saw them, I was like, I need to get those. And but immediately after that, I was going through my mind and like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to use these as much as is going to be worth it. I don't know if I want to spend that money right now and all of this stuff. And I've been taking chances on me, taking some risks, investing in myself for long enough now that I figured, why not? I just need to do it. So bought them, and the first video I made on the job with those got, I think it broke 500,000 views. Finally, the second video is at 3.4 million views right now on Instagram. And every video since then has gotten anywhere, well, at least above 20,000 views, when before this, I hadn't even broken 20. And I can go through the list of videos I've been creating, because I've been creating on my personal profile as well as the business Instagram. And I'll tell you kind of what the follower count has been from there. But my first video that I created with the Ray-Ban Metas, it's at 407,000 right now. The second video, 3.4 million. And then I had a video that I had posted before that also took off, but it had been posted weeks before I'd started doing these, and it's at 2.3 million views right now on Instagram. And since then, on my personal page, I've gotten 152, 45, 112, 265, 195, 1.2, 98, all of these different views, but that's just my personal. On the concrete Instagram, I have gotten, and I'm going to go backwards in order. The last video I posted is at 32. One before that's 43, 23, 121, 24, 13, 754,000, 1.2, 195, 25, 84, 36. And I have a 7,500 and 17.6, 104, 16.1, 538,000, 2.5 million. 15, 1.1 million, and so on. That's not even all of them. I've got another almost 100,000, and then the first two that I did that are 3.4 and 400, and have gained 4,500 followers in the last month or two that I've had these classes. The reason I tell you all this is because I was floating around 300 followers on the Concrete Instagram for a year, probably. I didn't ever really pick up any followers from videos. And I posted 3 times a week. And then about 2 months ago, I hadn't posted for a couple months because I just got sick of taking my phone out all the time and taking videos, and it was a lot of work and all of that. So I went back and I've only been posting 3 times a week still. And since I started posting with the cameras, the camera glasses, I've picked up 4,500 followers on there and had millions of views already. So why am I explaining all of this? I've been creating content for a long time and no success really. It took me taking a risk and an investment on a piece of technology and putting in just a little bit more effort on editing. What I had been doing before is taking the videos on my phone. I'd take my phone out, take a video, put it away. And I would do that throughout the day. And when I would go to post, I'd just go into Instagram and start adding them together and post it. When I got these glasses, I had so much video that I added all the clips in, and they would be 30 minutes worth of video. And Jesse Demler, who I had on my podcast, I was talking to him about content creation, and he gave me a couple tips for creating content that I used. And I started clipping everything up into 3-second bits. And you may think that doesn't sound like a lot, but it made all the difference. So I'd say the two biggest changes I made were getting the glasses so I can have a really good point of view video, and the editing style that I did, which I would put all of those together, about 30 minutes worth of video, and cut it down to 1 minute with 30-second clips or 3-second clips. Everything is moving fast enough that people get a glimpse of what you're doing, but then also it's moving on to something else, so it keeps their attention. Why do I say all this? I made two little changes, and it made the world of difference in how many views I've been getting. And on TikTok, I was below 100 followers on my personal page. And now every time I get on there, there's all sorts of views. And I haven't hit a million on there, but I'm at one video is at 670,000 and one is at almost, let's see, 350,000. And I'm almost at 1,000 followers on there, all from doing this type of stuff. And it took me creating content for years to get to this point, to figure out what I like, what I don't like, all of that stuff. I create some fitness content. I create concrete content. I do meme videos. Obviously, on the concrete page, I only do concrete content, which is why there's getting so many followers, because it's all the same. It's all expected, and people like to watch it. And on a personal page where you're posting all sorts of different stuff, people aren't as likely to want to follow you when they see that you post all sorts of different things. But I basically am creating all of this content, but I changed up the way I was doing it a little bit. I had created fitness content before and never really got very many views. And I started doing the same editing style. I would clip it up, 3-second clips, and put my workouts in and explain why you should work out in construction, why you should take care of yourself, all of that stuff. And they have gotten a ton of views still. What it took me doing is making these little 1-degree shifts. This whole time I've been creating content, 1-degree shifts, one little change at a time to figure out what I like. Now, what I'm doing from here on out, the concrete content has been good. and I'm going to continue doing it the same. I'm still tweaking with what I want to do on my personal page because I have the podcast content, I have my concrete content, I have fitness content. I'm figuring out how to fit it all in a niche, and that niche is blue collar in general. So I'm picking out keywords. I'm creating content with this idea of just blue collar in general, creating the concrete content that I post on my personal page from the guise of day in the life or what it's like to be in a trade or all of this other stuff, creating the fitness content as working out in a blue collar job and making all these changes. And that is what has gotten me a ton of views. So I know I've been jumping all over the place, but what I would say from what I have learned from my social media is to one, niche down, two, try all sorts of different ways of not only creating content, but producing and posting and editing. So find your niche, create content, produce it, and try all those different things because those are what really make the difference. And don't worry about it too much. On all of the videos that I have gotten over 1 million views on, it took me about 10 to 20 minutes to make those videos and post them. And some of them don't have trending audio. I really don't use very many hashtags. I usually do hashtag concrete, construction, blue collar, contractor, and that's it. You don't need a bunch of hashtags. You don't need a trending audio. What you need is good video and have it be engaging. It needs to be a quote I really liked that Jesse told me, is coming from Jesse Demler, is it has to be, I think, informative, funny, or entertaining, I think is what he said. But you need to have a purpose or a reason why someone wants to watch it. You need to create something that has a hook. Maybe at the beginning of your video, you have you have text that says what the video is going to be about. And then not only do you have clips that move fast, but you also have text that shows up every few seconds as well, describing what's going on. And that I've found has worked really well for me. Some of the videos I have quite a few views on are explaining the process while the video is going. So, with all of that being said, why should you post on Instagram or social media? If you don't post, nobody will know who you are. And in this age where connections are made so easily and there's so much benefit from knowing people and being connected to people, if you just have social media and you're posting about what you do, you will see success, you will get connections, your business will grow, you'll get job opportunities, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether or not you have a business or you work for somebody. The opportunities are out there and nobody will know who you are without posting. You should post. If you have a business, you should post because you never know what type of business is going to come from posting online. One common thing I hear from contractors is that they don't want to post on social media because their business is local and they don't know how much it's going to do for them. I've already had multiple people, probably 10 people reach out about work since our concrete content has been taken off that are actually in the area or within an hour of us that may or may not work, but they are reaching out and they're seeing the content and they like what we do. They think we do a good job and they want to work with us because of that. I've also had people find us on social media and go to our website and fill out job applications, send in bids, email us about different things, which takes us into our next one. Why should you have a website? You should have a website if you have a business for this exact reason. What I like to tell people is you should start off with social media and you should get, because it's free, and then you should get a website as soon as you can. With our website templates, you really can get a website super fast and simple and easy that's set up for you. And with posting online, you'll get the attention, and then people will go to your profile, and then they'll click on your website to either contact you, fill out a job application, send in a bid request, whatever you want, but you're getting their attention from social media and directing them to your website. And we haven't even touched ads yet, SEO, all of that stuff. But the thing is all of these are tools. All of these are tools that you can use to push your brand, push your product, push your service, and people can find you and reach out to you for work. Even if you don't get people reaching out to you for work yet, you will get connections, and those connections may have people that need work done. And at the end of the day, social media is just expanded word of mouth. Having social media set up and using it, and having a website where people can go to contact you, to reach out, whatever, and see your work and see projects you've done are really the two most powerful combinations you can have. And then you can go from there and use other tools. You can run Facebook ads. I know Taniela, a lot of you probably know who Taniela is. He's local to here. He's a contractor that has a lot of success on Facebook ads. You can run Facebook ads, you can run Google ads, you can do SEO, but all of those are tools on top of these basic setups that you have. They aren't something that's going to make or break your business. Your social media is not going to make or break your business. Your website isn't going to make or break it, but having all of them set up really is going to help you immensely, which is why I say social media and then a website. With our website templates, you can get into a good website and branding done, all that stuff really for cheap. Like you can get into this website for $1,000 or under $1,000. That's awesome to have a good website that people can go and reach out to you on. And if people go to your website and it's not good, that's going to give a bad impression on your business. And even just if you don't have a website, people will still reach out to you on social media for work, uh, to give you work. Contractors will reach out to you, all of that. Let's see, missing some things, I think. I've had a lot on my mind lately. Thanks for listening to this episode today. I've been busy the last couple months, and I've been glad that I haven't had to sit down and record another solo episode, but this has been good to kind of take a break from this and focus on some other things. And it's been a crazy ride the last couple months. I mean, every day I wake up with 200 plus followers. I get 200 followers a day, at least on our Concrete Instagram. Since we've been recording this, I've gotten 4 or 5 followers on there. Yesterday I posted about it and I had 4,581 followers. I don't know if you can see that. 4,581. This is on my story. And for those of you watching this on YouTube. And right now it's at 4,802. So in 24 hours, I've gotten 223 followers, 221 followers, or two. Can't do math right now. This just goes to show how important and beneficial it can be. And the follower count really doesn't matter. The view count doesn't matter as long as you are reaching the people that you need to reach, which social media does allow you to do, especially if you're collaborating with people in your area, you're posting and tagging people that you do work for, you're sharing all of that stuff. People are going to see and people are going to know these people that you're doing work for, and they're going to want to reach out to you for work as well. If you guys need any help with your social media or ideas, reach out to me. I can at least point you in the right direction. I don't charge for social media services, just can give tips or maybe help through some things. But we do have website services that you can get a website set up really easy. We can do one for you. And these templates allow us to do websites a little bit cheaper. So you can get into a really good website for pretty cheap. And if you want a really nice website, you can still come through us and get a nice custom website. And, I haven't really talked about this very much because I haven't wanted to push these services too much on this podcast, but I think it's about time and that we've had some good success with some of our website stuff and some of our social media stuff to where I feel like I can talk about it a little bit more. And if you guys need any help, I'm always happy to help and give, tips and advice as long as I can, and I can reply to messages. So again, thanks for listening to this podcast. And this episode's a little bit different from all the other ones I've been doing because it's a little bit more off the cuff and a little more in um, a little more of an update really on what I've been doing than all of the other ones with topics. And if you liked this episode, share it with a friend who you think will get something out of it, and leave a rating and review. It helps a ton. And I hope to get you guys to listen to more episodes. And if you need help, reach out to me. I'd love to help as many people as I can with this stuff because it is confusing. And I think there's a lot of misinformation out there on what actually matters. And it really just isn't that hard. Just got to start and continue going and try things, not get frustrated, not worry about the view count, the follower count, none of that stuff. Just start producing content. We'll see you guys next week.